SpongeBob. Why? My leg. My leg!
I gotta say, someone has been watching SpongeBob very closely to make this type of episode. So this was voted from you guys in the community poll, and a new one is always up as soon as one of these community voted videos is out. So before I get into this, I just wanted to shout out my amino. It's been growing slowly but surely. And unlike my Twitter, Instagram, or Discord, you can post content there too, whether it's a review or thoughts on my latest video. And it's a really neat and curated feed there. I keep awesome consistent content there as well. And as always, with any of my other social media platforms, if I hit a milestone, said followers will get to vote on said milestone video. Link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment. So for a topic about a background character whose phrase picked up popularity silently in the casual fanbase, it's a pretty silly premise, and the episode embraces it.
My leg? My leg! My leg!
My leg.
My leg! My leg!
A lot of the episode is goofy, and it leans towards some cartoons that we would have seen in the 90s, just with a bumped up production quality. There is a tiny section dedicated to a backstory, but for the most part, what you see is what it is. It's a lot of leg comedy. It actually reminds me of when Teen Titans Go did an episode on legs, whereas one episode decided to be a little too much when it came to leg-based comedy. This one has leg-based gags, but also other stuff.
But you've got to be more careful with your leg!
Ah, come on, Doc. It's just my leg. I've got another one.
Yes, everyone does scream my leg. The only reason I won't is because when I record, everyone is sleeping, and leg-based nightmares are the worst. I did contemplate doing this entire review from the perspective of my leg, showing a camera on my leg and articulating my points as if my leg was saying them, but you guys do some weird stuff with what you already have of me, so no, I'm not doing that.
The next time you come in here with a hurt leg, I'm going to replace it with a robot leg!
Don't take my leg! Don't take my leg!
So the story goes, Fred breaks his leg a lot. The doctor has had it, mainly because Fred doesn't seem to care, thinking that his leg can always be fixed. If Fred breaks his leg again, the doctor may replace it with a robot leg, which couldn't he just break his other leg? I guess it was supposed to be more about the fact that you're taking a leg from a robot. I'm all for robot rights, but it's easier to build a robot leg, whereas a fish leg doesn't seem too easy to build from scratch. So Fred promises no more leg breaking, which even without going further, if you watch my Chef Bob versus Squirrel Jokes versus, it'll be in the card, you already know he broke this promise. So I don't even want to hear it from this filthy liar. But anyway, he meets up with SpongeBob, and generally there's two kinds of people. People who are neutral or okay with SpongeBob up front, or people who dislike and want to be away from SpongeBob. It actually surprised me that Fred was on the latter side, considering that there hasn't been a significant amount of on-screen time that we've seen Fred and SpongeBob interacting. It makes me think about all the other enemies SpongeBob has made in private somehow, especially considering that if SpongeBob broken his leg a lot, Fred has a lot to owe SpongeBob because Fred likes breaking his leg. At least in this episode though. I guess he's using the Squidward tactic, never show love because you don't want to accept the good that has been given to you.
Choo-choo.
My leg!
No, first of all, who's dumb enough to build a bench that close to the train tracks? And secondly, who's even dumber to actually sit on said bench close to said train tracks? No, nah, I'm on SpongeBob's side with that. You deserve to have your leg Twizzlerified. So Fred gives SpongeBob the cold shoulder, like he's just gonna stop breaking his leg. However, SpongeBob commits to helping Fred in the shadows, removing any danger to his leg that may be in close proximity. This leads into Fred entering this factory. Do we care about the environment at all, guys? This is why half of the fish in SpongeBob look weird. They look like half of the shapes you would see in a McDonald's McNugget.
Hey everybody, look who's back! My leg!
Actually, his name is Fred.
When my name come up, respect it. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
This is his job!
I know, SpongeBob, I know. So instead of instructing Fred to use his hands, no, you gotta keep with the leg theme, SpongeBob uses a table leg, which leads into this scene. SpongeBob getting shredded really shouldn't be as funny as it is. I mean, it's as funny as the other time he got shredded, but it does remind me of those really old cartoons that had casual slapstick breathing throughout the episode. Characters would be squished, stretched, and hit nearly all the time, and it would show their pain tolerance is actually incredibly high. I do wish that logic would come back more in cartoons. I know we have Gumball who does squish, stretch, and get hit a lot, but that's 1 in 20 plus cartoons, plus it's gonna end soon. But getting back to the episode, we have this yoga scene right here. And I have to say, forget all the analytical stuff I was gonna say here, look at that eye! That's like something you would see out of a 10 Easter eggs you didn't know in my leg. Number 1, the Sea Illuminati egg. Why did I say egg? Number 1, the Sea Illuminati Eye. The Sea Illuminati is a secret organization under the sea led by the biggest underwater names in entertainment. Not much is known about the members either, but legend has it, it runs Nickelodeon Holy. I don't get paid enough for this.
My feet are cold. My feet are cold.
Alright Fred, this is the 3rd time you've pushed your butt in my face. We get it. You want the world to know you have a nice butt. Are you happy now, Fred? Are you satisfied? Did this help you reach a higher place? No? Well, get your butt out of my face. Second warning, SpongeBob. Any more butts and I have to get the bamboo belt.
Oh, quiet on the right side.
All quiet on the left side.
Yes. Excellent takedown. Minimal risk on your end. Great recovery. Now let's set you up with the boss battle.
Would you like to buy some cookies?
I got the weapon!
Yeah, those Bikini Bottom kids, nothing to mess with. You poke at one, that can be your entire life flashing before your eyes right there. Yes. Excellent takedown. Minimal risk on your end. Great recovery. But getting serious, you can see that this episode is just a lot of humor. It's actually sillier than your average modern episode so far that I've covered. I think it goes to show that a lot of SpongeBob episodes should take themselves less seriously, like I said in my finale of the bracket. Yes, I like a good story as much as the rest of everyone who tells me that they like a good story. But with the amount of shows on that do that sort of thing seriously, it's okay to go where others aren't. Most of this episode is just them messing around with Fred's leg, and it works, whether it's protecting it or going to smash it. And yes, they do go on to smash it. Why? Because plot twists, even though I said this earlier in the script, Fred wants that. To put a backstory short, he has a crush on a nurse, and because he has no car or any wit to see her on her off hours, or maybe she works 24 hours a day, I'm not sure how sea law works, he must injure himself so that he can have free access to the nurse. It's a neat way to keep the story going without the leg jokes getting stale anyway.
I should probably use something stronger.
Yeah, I recommend something strong, like Nickelodeon's commitment to only backing you and your show for years and not giving that break to any other show. That's strong. So they go through a montage of intentionally trying to break Fred's leg. Why not open another bear trap? Like, seriously, those things should not be out in the open like that. As a panda, I find that seriously offensive. Not only that, but how do you leave a set up bear trap? Like, seriously, it all comes to a height when the love train comes a knockin'. Yes. Excellent takedown. Minimal risk on your end. Great recovery.
Thank you, SpongeMan. This one is even better than my leg. Hey, my leg!
They hit me everywhere except my legs!
So that leads into the hospital scene. If I were to dock points anywhere, it would most likely be this scene here. Whereas the other parts were at least visually interesting, funny, or necessary to keep the story going forward. The part with the nurse surely is the weakest part. I thought the song was okay, but like with Mimic Madness, I can't see myself going back to listen to it again. It just seems like there was a better way to wrap up the episode, or at least not combine the nurse love saga with this random song. I'm not completely sure, but I do think it's a weak ending. The episode ends with the nurse and Fred being in love, and I'm counting this as another couple that modern SpongeBob has gave us. Fred's leg gets chopped off and the scream he gives is all I wanted to hear in my 20, coming up to 21 years of life, and that was my leg. It's a pretty silly episode. I do enjoy it quite a bit, but so far I'd put it below Pharaoh Friends and Chef Bob, but above Mimic Madness. I do think if you're not into insanely silly or wacky, then this episode would come across as stupid to you, but for me, I can't can't say I didn't enjoy the episode, or what it had to offer. Once again, check out the Amino. If you don't like your experience there, it's just a simple uninstall. It's completely free, so make sure to join with the link in the description, or in my pinned comment below if you can't find it in the description. As always, special thanks to the patrons of September, and until next time, take care. Alpha out.